This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talk about how many videos you need to make before you're actually good, and we're blind ranking some movie baddies. And 3, 2, 1, AirPod palaver.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dammy.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, buddy?
I don't have AirPod palavers because I still got the old ones. You know, the old
Yeah, so I should
favourite.
have a set of those, but the only cable-based headphones I have are big ones, and I feel like you'll take the piss out of me.
Well,
And
no, I
also,
would always take the piss out of you, Tom, for sure.
also
Yeah, no,
my
I
head
prefer
gets
these
really
ones though.
warm. Maybe I'll put these on today because I'm going to pause the podcast and put these ones on because it is going to annoy me throughout this. All right, if you're obviously
I'm talking
watching
about
the
the bigger
YouTube.
headphones on. So that's all you've missed is he's come back with bigger headphones.
I feel like I should explain, and it's going to be something I'll rant about this in a little bit. But so first of all right, currently I have a pair of Jabras, my Jabra Move, whatever things, and then I have a pair of AirPod Pro 2s, which are lovely, fine. But all right, number one issue. Dan's going to laugh at this because I also put it on Instagram and I got a few responses last week. I believe Friday I was coming home and you know how the AirPods fit in your ears unbelievably well at all times. So I was cycling on little Boris bike, so not going fast at all. And yeah, just like boom, 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 and going up Seymour Place, where everyone knows that in Marlowen, and I felt like my AirPod in my right ear was getting a little bit loose, but fine. I was once I stopped, I'll put it back in properly. And then it fell out whilst I was cycling really slowly. It fell out, which I was like, oh, I obviously like jammed the brake, fine. Obviously, I'm going to go back and get it. As soon as I was looking around, and it all happens in slow motion when this kind of shit happens, doesn't it? And they're like, so I look at it, turn around, and then pop, pop, 3 bounces maybe, and then straight into a drain.
Yeah.
I was like, there's not another fucking drain on that road for like 200 meters.
You probably don't go past another drain on your whole journey, probably.
And like, it was just the way it happened in slow motion, and there was nothing I could do, literally nothing I could do. And then I was like, and literally just my head just went, there's no point getting upset. Like,
No, there isn't
I'm just
at that
like,
point.
I can't get angry, can I? Like, what am I going to do? So I parked the bike, went to the drain, and was like, oh, I'm just going to see. It was a little bit dark, and I was like, I'm just going to see how, like, maybe it's just like sitting. And I was like, I could see it. I could see it sitting on the layer of filth, like 4 foot deep or something like that. And I was like, fuck, can I get this? And then, like, obviously it's a drain cover, like massive fucking steel, like as thick as my like hand, like palm, right? And I was like, tried to wedge it open, didn't happen. Also looked like a fucking insane person.
Yeah.
And then like my mate was like, oh, can you not get the council to get it? I was like, are you fucking joking? It's like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Oh,
So I was
God.
just like, great. So I've just got one left AirPod. And then what's more annoying as well, the reason I bought my AirPods is because I think my Jabras are dying. So the right one has kind of stopped working is intermittently, which was just happening at the start of that podcast. I put them in, they're fine. And then after a while, it just slowly fucks off. So this is the main issue, Dan, as Dan knows, but some of you may not, is I'm almost 80%, 85% deaf in my left ear. People wouldn't know if you speak to me. Because I can get around it pretty well. Don't worry.
Yes, I think it's just Tom's excuse to ignore me whenever he wants, to be honest.
So you'd probably notice if I ever speak to you or meet you in person, I will probably stand so you're on my right side. And also, you can't even tell now because I've taken my earring out of my left ear. So I took it out in the new year. I normally have a stretcher earring, and I've actually taken it out. I've still got one earring in though on the top. I don't think I'm going to take that out, mainly because I don't know how to. But yeah, but I've decided I'm like, that's still part of me from when I was like 19. That's fine. I'm a cool emo kid, whatever that be, alternative. Yeah, but yeah, the main issue is I only have the left ear like earphone working in both of those earphones. So I have to really, really pay attention for when people are speaking if I'm only using my left ear. So
Uh,
hence why I've decided to put my normal corded ones. These are the ones that I use when I'm playing guitar. So it like blocks out everything. I can just like zone in, and they plug into like my amps and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, that's fun. Fucking infuriating, but yeah, I got a nice. But I thought I only got back like 45 minutes before recording, and I thought my AirPod would charge in time. They haven't. So
Mm.
and who knew? You can literally just go on your Apple thing and order one right AirPod.
Yeah, because they know people are
Because
fucking
they know
stupid.
people lose them or one dies or something like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, at least it's fine. It was only 80 quid, but I thought I
You
was
might
gonna
as well
have to.
get a you might as well get a full set for that.
No, like the full set's like 200
For
or
well, I
180
suppose
or
which
something like that.
generation, I suppose. I suppose yeah, which
I got
gen.
the yeah the now the ones like the ProPods 2, they're like the new ones out, whatever they are.
Oh,
So
okay,
I
yeah,
was just
yeah,
like,
maybe that.
because I bought them as Christmas present to myself because I was like, fuck this.
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna have
cute, isn't it?
mainly because my Jabras but work really, really badly on calls.
Mhm.
So I was like, yeah, we'll have them. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah, palaver number one. How's your week been, Dan?
that's it.
So
Well, I'm a bit ill. As you can probably tell, a little bit nasally, a little bit
yeah,
nasally. But yeah, other than that, I'm all right. You know, can't really complain. Back in the swing of things. Got best round of golf I had at my new golf course. That was good. Felt very nice. Makes a
good.
change. Been playing really badly up to that point. So yeah. But yeah, no, all
So
good.
Dan's
Can't
just
really
joined
complain.
a kids par three, so he's
Yeah,
doing
yeah. I've
every.
just joined a par three course. It's really good. I like it a lot.
Managed to
Um,
take 4 clubs. Great.
Yeah, no, other than that, all good. Like we sold out, already sold out our event in April. Literally just the clients and members first.
Mm.
We sold all the spaces to them, so no one
Nice.
else can come basically.
I haven't even
Um,
got a ticket. I haven't even got a ticket.
Mate, I
I
can
can't.
squeeze you in.
I
You're
can't
special
even
if you want to
come.
come.
I can't
If you
even
want to
come.
come, if you want to come, I can squeeze you in. But yeah,
Crazy. There'll be
that's pretty good.
podcast listeners there going, "Where's Tom? What he was
It
going to
will be,
come?"
yeah,
And they'll
yeah.
be
I
like,
mean,
"What's
what can I
happening?"
say? Can't
No.
help you out,
I
guys. Sorry,
mean,
he's not there.
I might just come for the afternoon because I just like it when Dan drinks, if I'm honest.
Yeah, you
So
just come for you just come for the night out, mate. I reckon more than anything. That'd be the key thing.
yeah, I'll come, but I'm
Yeah.
not coming for the whole thing. No.
No, I wouldn't blame. I don't blame you. Don't
I'll
come for
come
the
at
whole
lunch.
thing.
I'll come at
Waste of time.
lunchtime. Fine. I'll come
Yeah,
for
yeah,
lunch. Be all right.
yeah. That. But
um,
yeah, that's it. Nothing crazy going on for me. Nothing too mental.
no, wonderful, good. I hope everybody's. I'm just doing a nice. I'm just show and tell on all my clients at the moment, which is not all of them. I can take ages, but some of them, some of the ones that people might resonate with. I don't shout about my one-to-one clients very often, so I'm at least doing like 5 client stories on my one-to-one clients, which is more interesting, I think, for some people, just to see what
Show and
happens.
tell, eh? Bit of
Show
show
and
and tell.
tell. It's just a different. I guess we can talk about this in like a I don't know, what is it? Social proof. That's what people say, in
Yeah,
it? That's the thing.
yeah.
Social
That's the
proof
thing.
kind of way. Because I think people we can talk about that. No, yeah, fuck it. It's an interesting thing because obviously you teach how to show social proof, and you can extrapolate into how you do it. But because I base a lot of stuff on performance and change of behaviors in training and what they do in their training, and it's a lot of videos and
Mm,
stuff. I don't have a lot of big
yeah,
transformations, if it were. It's I have to get maybe a little bit more imaginative with how I show that, and then because like a lot of my guys will be like it literally like I'm releasing one today couch to kind of high rocks athlete kind of thing, like a couch of take on a couch to 5k. And then I've got like obviously physique athletes turning from that into like more enjoyment and high rocks and like
yeah.
functional training and stuff like that. I got another one coming out of a former physique athlete going into training for actual life, coming up in a couple of days as well. So it's I think it's easier for me to say their story rather than themselves as well with them, and it would look a bit weird with them talking about themselves with a training
Yeah.
montage or something behind them. But obviously I have a lot of videos on them because I do a lot of technique analysis and stuff like that. So it's just an interesting way for maybe if people are like me, you don't have to always do a transformation, or
Mhm.
you can literally just show your working of like them doing workouts, them with good form, them with good technique, that they look good, all that kind of stuff. And then yeah, drop some. what you're proud of them fucking for. And it's very much like you're telling a story, right? Because I am in, let's say, the end game. Somebody on this podcast might watch one of my videos and be like, shit, I resonate with that. Maybe I can get the same thing going. Be like,
Mm.
and that's what I want to create. And yeah, if I can tell that story, that's what Stephen Bartlett says. Can we tell a story? People like stories, all that kind of shit.
People do like
Like
stories,
like a
which is
story instead of just like boom, boom. This is Sandra. She looks like this and now looks like this. Sign up with me.
yeah, and it also needs to be very
Cool.
unique to your niche as well. People forget that it's like
100%.
your
Yeah.
niche don't want to see a before and after photo because it won't necessarily look hugely different, maybe. But like I said, the performance-based stuff that they do will look drastically different. And that's the stuff that like say you need to focus on, right? So yeah.
Mm. How would you teach doing shit? What's your go-tos? Because obviously you do like quick wins, quick client wins, and then you'll do like other shit as well. Or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems that I think with coaches, they just rely solely on the visual.
Yeah.
And they forget that is one part of a puzzle that's a bigger puzzle. And the amount of coaches that always talk about like feeling great and like having confidence. And I'm like, well, you can't really show that in a picture of someone in their underwear, like on Instagram. Not everyone wants to see that and wants that. So you have to have a variety of different
Petty
like,
pick.
yeah, you have to have like a variety of different types of social proof. So I love a video testimonial. I think it was really, really good.
Yeah.
Mainly because I think that it shows that you've got a pretty good bond with your client that they would do that for you as well. I think that's pretty important. In the grand scheme of things, I think that has to be
Bear in mind, just in case I've asked permission from every single one of these clients that I can do these stories. Don't just fucking do it.
yeah,
Just like a
literally
video
have to.
testimony.
Yeah. Um yeah, I can't believe that needs to be said, but yeah, no, I'm sure I think that does
It
need to be
definitely
said.
needs to be said.
Yeah, yeah. So I think if you ask a client for a video testimonial and they give you one, I do think is a very, very strong indicator of like a bond and a trust there that again that person's been through. So I think that's important. We do the quick wins, like quick text messages that people should have, and again provide the backstory and the context to that. I think is really, really important. But really, any way you can show any sort of like positive improvement, I think is a good thing. So, for example, like I had a client once, and she worked with mainly people that wanted to move away from, say, swimming world and move into like a proper coach. And I was like, well, your photos should be them clothed at events so that they feel good and they feel great in their summer dress or their little black dress, or whatever. That's not they don't want to be in their underwear all over your Instagram. Like, think about what they want, right? So obviously, if you work with bodybuilders, you're gonna have loads of bodybuilding pictures all over the place, right?
Mm.
Makes sense. It's the same sort of thing. So Tom's obviously taken that initiative and gone, well, my clients want to be stronger. They want to look better in the gym in terms of what they're lifting and how they're moving that weight, efficiency in movement, being stronger, allowing them to perform better in other sports potentially. So that's why Tom talked about golf a fair bit and how his training relates to him playing golf. And it's the same thing. You just have to relate it back to what that person wants out of it and how it's going to improve their life. Super straightforward, really.
Mm.
But people just overcomplicate it and they think that. And the other thing as well I will say about social proof is people think it has to be an amazing before and after. They think that
Yeah.
people want this amazing, big, huge change. And I always say you have to have the 0 to 4 to 6 to 8 week journeys in there as well, so that people know what is achievable in that time frame. Because to
Yeah.
some people, a huge transformation is daunting. It's like, oh, that's fuckloads of work. I'm not going to do that. Why would I bother signing up with him? Like, I'm not going to do that for a year. Fuck that. Whereas if they can see what happens in 8 weeks and go, actually, I can do that in 8 weeks, that's then leads to the bigger transformations, then great. So again, it's having that mixture of not just the year-long ones. And like we used to do just the photo shoot ones. We don't just have the photo shoot ones. We have the ones that are like, okay, in 8 weeks, you could lose 6 kilos and look like this and feel
Yeah.
like this. Same with Tom with his stuff. It's like, okay, I'm not going to take you from here to a powerlifting meet overnight, but I might be able to help you with go from, I suppose a weight you're struggling with to adding 10 kilos in the space of 8 weeks. Like, and people go, okay,
Yeah,
cool, that I'm on board with.
exactly why I've got the combine based stuff, because that
Yeah.
is from starting to 10 weeks and you test. And we go, right. And within 10 weeks, you will add, on average, if I'm taking you on from normal, I think it's like 10, 11% across 15 lifts on average is my success rate. I think it's pretty fucking good. And then
Yeah.
we get a little bit more like nuanced, and that's what most people will go through. And I can be like, right, we're bang for buck. We've got your cemented for 10 weeks, blah, we're going to do that. And then we'll go off and get a little bit more specific
Yeah.
in what testing we actually do. Because people are like, oh, you should do 15 tests all the time. No. We have a Hyrox combine. We got a footballer based combine. There's little things like I talking about Paul, and another one, he's cricketer. I don't use them all. His main key indicator was fucking vertical jump. That's all I fucking cared about. And I was like, I know for when he does a vertical jump. When he gets more powerful, he's going to get more leverage.
Yeah.
Instead of making him, he was like, I don't want to get beaten up by heavy squatting all the time. Cool, we won't. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to look at that, and then I'll talk about that on his fucking thing. Be like, look, we just do this one. I've got a high rocks based one coming out today. Again, no, not the fucking high rocks ones. I actually got a business one coming out as well. I've only decided to do one of those because it's not the main thing, is it? But yeah, from a one-to-one coach, not an online coach. I'm not cool like Dan.
No, you're not. One to one. You talk about your one to one coach.
Full one-to-one business. Shock.
Yeah.
Shock. Yeah, wonderful. Nice, mate. I'm gonna do let's do something. Let's do something fun, Dan. Because I saved this post. Don't know why. But I think it was maybe to do with you, or I was gonna do, or maybe I just want to talk about it. This is all right. We're gonna blind rank, Dan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest movie villains of all time.
Okay.
It's going to be a bit niche for you. I don't know. I think you
It's a
know
bit
them.
niche.
I think you know them all. Okay.
Yeah.
Most anyway. Or like, so I'll pick out the ones you definitely know. Okay.
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, maybe 7. We'll do them all. If you don't know them, we won't put them in. All right, blind ranking. I need some notes because these were funny last time when everybody disagreed with your. Somebody disagreed. I think there was a few people that disagreed with your statement. I think we talked about potatoes and blind ranking, how they weren't like high enough
Potatoes.
in the Christmas dinner blind ranking, or what's the best
Okay.
side. All right,
People called me
great.
for that, did they?
I believe so. Definitely in one of my check-ins, somebody had a go at you for not. Well, we
That's
didn't like potatoes enough. I was like, what?
it's because you got stupid clients, mate. Don't worry about that.
Very true. Yeah. Right. So we got Hans Gruber. Do we know who that is?
We do know who that is. Yeah, he's not that bad.
So we're going to do 8, 1 to
There's
8.
8. Okay, I would put
I mean,
Hans
there's
Gruber.
probably 7 if you don't know them all, but yeah.
I would say I'd put Hans Gruber at 4. Number
Hans
4. He's not that
Gruber.
bad.
What did Hans Gruber do, Dan?
He took over the Nakatomi building in Die Hard.
Played by?
The late great Alan Rickman.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah, that's Die Hard. I love Die Hard. It's fine. Die Hard's good.
All right. Big one. Darth Vader.
See, now he's not the biggest villain because he turned out to be good in the end. And I don't think there's going to be many people in this list that are going to be good in the end. So I'm actually going to be putting Darth Vader at 7.
7. Okay.
7.
It's interesting. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because are you going based off, are they really bad? Or
I don't think he was really that bad of a villain. And I think actually he's just a puppet for the Emperor. So like I don't think yeah, I'm happy with him at 7. But I don't know, it could be 8. Should I put him at 8 though? Oh, do I think no? Go 7. Go 7.
7.
Go 7.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll double check there is 8. Otherwise, I'm punching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fuck. I think there's 1 or 2 you don't know.
There will be for sure.
Hans Lander.
There's one of them I don't know.
There we go. Have you ever watched? So it's played by Christopher Waltz. He is more probably known as the Jew killer in Inglourious Bastards.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, really? You haven't seen it?
Yeah. No.
Fucking hell. That is one of my top 5 movies of all time.
Really? No,
Yeah.
no, never seen it. No, that's probably why I've not watched it.
You absolutely uncultured penis.
That's me.
100%. Go watch that. Have you? I mean, it's on a level. I would say my favorite Quentin Tarantino films would be Inglourious Basterds and Django Unchained. I think those 2.
I've not seen the other one either.
Oh my god! Oh, those both up there. Oh, you need to go watch those. Go watch those. Jesus.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Stop the podcast. Fuck off. Go
Yeah.
watch those. You have homework to do, my friend. All right. The Joker.
Ooh. I think number two, Joker.
Two.
I think I like the
Nice.
Joker as a villain
And we're
because
going with Heath Ledger Joker, by the way.
Heath Ledger Joker, yeah, because he was evil to the core. Like he was just like he was there was no you couldn't, for example, like I said about Darth Vader, you could convince him to be good in the end. No way with Joker you could do that. Not a chance.
But did you watch Joaquin Phoenix's Joker?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
But that was more of a sad story, no? That was
it was.
depressing
Yeah,
as fuck.
it
Uh,
was. Yeah, 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 yeah.
it was just like I remember going and then Chloe was like, I was just waiting for it to get better. And I was like, that was that no, that never it never materializes to be happy. It just gets sadder and sadder and sadder. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
watch it, guys.
yeah. Go
All
watch it.
right.
It's great.
Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, see, this is why I reserve the number one spot. I feel like he has to be number one,
Yeah.
surely. Yeah,
Nice.
like I
Hannibal
can't
Lecter.
have any high spots now.
That's what he does, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah.
And then I don't know this one. You might know it. Nurse Ratched.
No idea.
No idea. Do a quick Google. People were absolutely
Yeah, screaming at their fucking
screaming.
phones.
Fictional character, no shit. Also in the movie, also known as Big Nurse. Why is she so evil? Oh, she's literally in a TV series called Ratched,
Wouldn't know.
in a leading psychiatric hospital. Interesting. I don't know who it is. Oh well, don't know. Unfortunately.
There you go.
All right. Voldemort.
Yeah, he's not that bad. Three.
Three. More evil than Darth Vader. Oh.
Yeah, definitely.
Voldemort couldn't even take over a school. Darth Vader took over the universe. So.
Yeah. I mean, I see your point.
This lad I don't know, but I know the actor Anton Chigurh.
No, no idea who
Don't
that is.
don't know that one. Anton Chigurh.
Who is that?
No Country for Old Men.
No, wouldn't
Never
have
watched
known
it.
that.
Never watched it. Unfortunately, we need to watch that. This one is going to be the last one of these. Is Feathers McGraw, and you do know who this is.
Chicken Run.
No, it's not Chicken Run. It
What is
is
it?
Wallace and Gromit.
Wallace and
It
Gromit. Yeah.
it's the penguin from Wallace and
Yeah.
Gromit.
Well, he's number eight, obviously. Like,
What?
he's not a bad villain
He's
at
fucking
all.
evil. He's just
No,
like
he's
stares
not.
at you and like, what? No, he's evil. Feathers McGraw. Are you joking? I'm putting this list up on our stories. Yeah. So you've gone Hannibal Lecter number one, Heath Ledger Joker number two, Voldemort three, Hans Gruber four, and we've reserved the space for five and six apparently because for the people you don't know. And then so you got to make a choice out of Hans Wander or Anton Chigurh or the other guy, and then seven Darth Vader, eight Feather McGraw, the Penguin.
I'm
Jesus.
happy with that. I'm happy with that list. I'll take it, mate. I'll
All
take that
right,
list.
beautiful. Well, I wanted to do that, Dan, because your lists are fucking terrible.
My lists are terrible, mate. My problem is I don't have strong enough feelings about these things. Do you know what I mean? That's my problem, I think.
I
So I
think
don't,
that's what makes
as
it
you can
funny.
see, I don't watch enough films, as you can tell. You're furious with me, some of those decisions that I
I
mean,
think
not even watched them.
that's the novelty. I feel like somebody with more knowledge would be like, "Oh, yeah, this into this," and get a little bit more passionate. I think your
Uh,
nonchalance of not knowing is what's going to happen. What is good
yeah.
about these? So, what else do you not know about? I'm going to pick that
Quite a
for
lot of stuff, to be fair, mate. I mean, you know me, I'm quite narrow-minded, like from that point of view. It's not really
I'm
huge
gonna
stuff, you know.
do golf brands. There you go, and then you'll be like,
Golf brands, yeah,
yeah.
I'll go to town on that one.
Anyway, but I was going to circle back on because I don't know what you were going to talk about in terms of online coaching. What were you talking about?
Oh, I can't remember, mate. Probably just it's hard, isn't it? And like people should probably actually like give it some
Hard in
fucking
it.
effort.
Hard in
Yeah.
it.
I can't remember what I was going to say now. What did I bring up? There was something. I can't remember what it was now. It can't be that important. Let's put it that way. Can
Fair
it?
enough, mate. Fair enough. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Um, what I was talking about, so there was somebody I was talking about podcasting with today, and obviously they were getting this is more of a point of, I guess, getting into online coaches of just, and it was something that Simon Mitchell posted today as well, and how people will obsess maybe about their content or obsess about putting something out and obsess that it's perfect.
Mm.
And it was something, the conversation I had today about a podcast with a lad. He was like, "Oh, what platform do you use? What mic do you use? What this do you use? This stuff." He was like, "Yeah, I really want to start. I really want to get." And he's like, "I've just got to get everything perfect before I do." It's a similar thing I have with my brother-in-law as well. He looked at my board, like I have all my business stuff on my board, like project work, weekly content, outreach, tick off sheets, and stuff like that. He was like, "Yeah, I want my content to look my content's not amazing, but he's got some thought and some effort into it a
Mm.
little bit." And it's more the case of I just don't bother getting all the gear before you fucking start putting shit out there. Which is I I feel like people are getting better, but there is a certain amount of like put some effort into it. But I don't know where do you fall? Like I feel like there's some people who just need to do instead of talk where there's nothing that's coming out. And then
Yeah.
there's a process of like, all right, you've done that, at least some stuff is coming out. Now let's rein it back and make it better.
Yeah, it's really tough to draw that line and
It
kind of
is, isn't it? Right?
and yeah, and what you need to say to people, right? Most people need to just make more. And the reason that I tend to fall on that side of things, in that conundrum that you face there, Tom, the reason that I say 9 times out of 10 to people is to make more and not worry about being perfect, is that by making more, it will be better. There's that analogy, I'm sure I've talked about in the podcast before, the analogy about the people that made the pots. Have you heard the analogy about the pot making, Tom? Have you heard the analogy about the pot making? It's a really important
No,
one.
shine a light on it for me.
So basically, the analogy is that there were two groups of students in an art class that were given. It might even be a real story. I just know it as an analogy, but they were given. They were split up into two groups, and they were each told that they were going to be judged based on on two different parameters. One group were going to be judged on how many pots they could make in a day, or whatever long it was, a week, whatever it was. Right? Let's call it a fucking week. Right? Say a week. And then the other group were going to be judged on they could only make one pot, but it had to be the best quality. They could make as many as they wanted or whatever, but they had to make one pot. It had to be really, really good. It had to be perfect. And that's what they're going to be judged on. So they're going to be judged on one pot that was quality. And the group that were told that they were going to be judged on quantity were like, you need to make the most amount of pots. At the end of it, they got everyone together and they put all the pots together. And the pots that were actually judged to be the best were taken from the group who'd made the most, not the groups that had spent all the time trying to make the perfect one. Obviously, like blind. Obviously, I think I can't remember if it's like a pot. I'm going to put pot making analogy. I'm sure it'll come
They were blind.
up. Yeah, yeah, I said the blind thing. The parable. That's it. The parable of the pottery class. There was once a pottery teacher, blah blah. I won't go on it, but it is to focus on quantity versus quality. And essentially, basically, if you were to, want to get better at photography, take 10,000 photos, not trying to make the perfect photo there. And then you'll learn as you look and you do. So the reason I suggest doing that is because I think with social media as well, you also have the data then to make an informed decision on what to do next. Whereas if you just
Yeah.
obsess over trying to be perfect, you won't get it right. So by doing more and increasing the quantity, you will always get to a position where you'll start making better quality content that you like, that you think is good quality and that you think works better and all this sort of stuff. So that's why 9 times out of 10, I tell people to do more quantity. And I think that in general, most people would be better off doing that. And there's the odd person who, when they're already at that peak and they're already good at making content, they maybe need to focus on quality, and then you can do that to a certain degree. But it's the whole talent myth, right? It's the whole like talent isn't really a thing. It's like you just done it for more time than other people have.
Yeah.
You talk about Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy being some of the best golfers. You look at videos of them when they're like fucking 4 and 5 playing golf, and it's like, have they just done those hours sooner and quicker? And actually, they're just done more of it over time, like all that sort of stuff, right? So I think it's the same concept with this to a degree, and it's like just put the time and effort into doing it. And coaches don't like it; they don't like doing that. And I always say this, like, it's in the same way where like you would say to a client who says, "I want to squat 100 kilos," and then, well, okay, well, let's practice some squats then. Well, no, I want to do 100 kilos or nothing. Well, it's not going to happen, is it? It's literally not going to happen. Like, it's going to take a lot of, like, I don't know, willpower, effort. I don't know what it's going to do, but like, it's a skill that requires practice. And I
Yeah.
think it's very, very arrogant for coaches to assume that they could just study some content ideas and content stuff and just magically be good at it. No, you're gonna be shit at it. It's gonna be crap. You're gonna have to put the hours in. Much in the same way that it's arrogant for people to think that they can just get a 6 pack or win a powerlifting competition without much training. It's arrogant. It's ridiculous. It's blind. And it's the same with coaches and their content. Is I say, okay, you want to make good videos. How many videos you made? Well, none really. Well, make 1,000 videos, then we'll talk about how good your videos are in terms of quality. And that's the metric, is to go, well, make 1,000 first. And I use that parable, I use that analogy, whatever it is. It's not an analogy, is it? But a parable. I use that all the time. I go, make 1,000, and then we'll talk about your quality of videos, because that's what I've done. That's what we've done. Like, we've made thousands of videos. We've done hundreds of podcasts. That's how we know what the best microphone is, best equipment is, and how to do this and how to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you could argue maybe as we carried on doing this, we're not as good anymore at marketing it, and we're not pushing it as much as we did previously at the start and all these sorts of things, because it's just less of a priority for us right now. But we still do it, and we still turn up, and we still know how to do these things. But also as well, I would argue that in our start of doing the podcast, we did have a bit more of a structure and a routine, and we had to have a few more features and stuff. Whereas now we're better at it. We can just do this on the fly. We can just talk about these things.
But
And that's the thing that I
it's
just
also
struggle with.
changed for what it is for us as well, right? It's
Yeah,
number one, keep in contact with each other. Number two, probably the clients we already have or the clients that are thinking about signing up from our social media, it's a long form piece of content that they can get to know us better, which in turn is exactly what it should be, right? I'm going to be talking about a client later today I'm releasing who was a long-term listener, listened
yeah,
to us for 2-3 years, and then decided to sign up. Yeah, cool, amazing.
yeah, exactly that. And it's and I think as well, the thing that I struggle with as well with coaches is that with quantity of content, it's a very obvious metric. You've made either no videos or 100 videos. Whereas quality of content is like, well, that depends on what you define as quality. Are we looking
Mm,
at the audio, the visual? Are we looking at the edits? Are we looking at the actual content within the video itself? Are we looking at the transitions? Are we looking at how long it is and how viral it goes? Are we looking at the insights of social media? Like, what makes a quality video? It's like that whole beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Well, who's to say what's good and what's bad, really?
yeah.
Whereas quantity, I would argue, well, that's pretty well defined. You've made a video and it's done and it's there, and that is the metric that I know will breed quality, regardless of what you define quality to be. I know your 1,000th video will be better than your first one. I know that for a fact. It will just be more of what you deem to be quality and what more of your audience deem quality, because you'll look at the numbers and the metrics that define what you think quality is based on your success. Um, because I think quality video is different to what Mike thinks quality video is, for example. Based on, I think it's more to do with maybe whether it's 4K, whether it's lit well, whether it has a story to it, whether it has some sort of like a meaning behind the video, whether there's some sort of thing. Whereas Mike will be a bit more, well, it just needs to be raw, vlog style, behind the scenes. Don't have to heavily edit it, keep all the shit bits in. It's funnier, it adds to it. And that's just two different viewpoints, and you blend them together at times. So that's what I would say, is that coaches sit there to me all the time. Oh, what's good content? Or what do you think about my content? Is it good or bad? Well, do you think it's good or bad? Forget what I think. Forget why are you asking me? I'm not your ideal client.
Yeah.
Like, make content that you enjoy making, that you enjoy editing, that you enjoy putting together, and you enjoy watching back.
That was
And then you won't
literally
be far wrong.
me yesterday. I was like, because I've been making, because also I'm spending a little bit more. So those like 90-second fucking stories of my clients, right? I'm using the max of the reels. People are like, oh, it's too long. Like, fuck it, it's
Yeah.
to tell a story. It's absolutely fine. And like the inverse, because I'm spending a little bit more time. Those probably take me. It's a 90-second clip of me filmed, but obviously all chopped up. and then it's probably 20, 25 minutes of me fucking up and saying I've got my script. So I've written my script. That probably takes me half an hour. 20 minutes of recording because I've already written my script, so that's going to make it quicker. If you don't write the scripts, guess what?
Yep.
This will be fucking a long time you fuck it up. And then probably editing an hour and a half, maybe. So it's probably about 90 seconds. I'd say that's 2 hour reel, right? But people aren't prepared to then take that time. Bear in mind, I've got 25 to 30 fucking one-to-one sessions at the moment. And I'm finding that time. And I've got a catalog of online coaching and mentorship, whatever. And then, but to caveat that, because I'm spending that time on that post, like every other day, my other posts are just memes that take me 2 minutes to make. That's it. But that is content I fucking love.
Yeah.
And it's more shareable
this is
and it's
the
more
thing is
relatable because
this is the thing is it's like people don't get that they're so obsessed about what their audience want to hear, what their audience, it's like they forget to just enjoy making the content they're making, and like as long as you like it, I think
I'm
that's a huge win.
I like making memes because I think they're funny.
Yeah.
I will send a meme to someone because that's one of the biggest metrics. And Stephen Bartlett's content girl, so the head of Stephen Bartlett's content, and she was like, "What people want right now is it shareable? Like, will you send it to someone?" That's the one of the biggest metrics that Stephen Bartlett is looking at currently. And she was talking about that in Until last week. She was like, is it shareable? Will someone share your piece of content with someone else? That is what she was like. The CEO of Instagram said that was one of their key metrics now. It's like, all right, cool. So make something that's shared. Say, like I look at save. So all the carousels, down's probably the same. I look at saves more than anything else now. And then for memes, I want it to be shared. I want people to share it to their stories or share it to someone or whatever. And that's about it. And then the reels, don't really care. I'm trying to just, I'll talk about it. You'll probably notice like one day, and then I'll put my stories the next day. Stories. And obviously it becomes like shit. You talk about this all the time, Tom. But Dan was like saying last week, he was like, yeah, it's a campaign. Fuck it. Like if that one person has never seen it, then you haven't done a good enough job. Like that's why this one's lasting like 25 days. So it's just like, all right, cool. We'll just keep going. Boom, 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 boom. And somebody's going to see. Probably all of my followers at some point will see one of my reels about one of my clients. That's what I'm asking for. Okay, but it's going to take that long.
I think with it as well, like coaches need to remember, and the coaches get caught up in this a lot because they. I said to the members call this week, right? Is that as a coach, you see your content more than anyone else in the planet. You watch it, you obsess over it, you plan it, you edit it, you script it, you do all this sort of stuff, and you get really worked up about the outcome of it. Yet to your audience, you are 5 seconds of their day. Your post, if they read it or watch it, right? Let's say they watch, the average watch time on some reels 20 seconds, right? 20 seconds. You are 20 seconds of their day. They do not remember anything you said the next day.
No.
You know that it's the whole like, you know that the whole like, oh, you know, tomorrow today's news is tomorrow's fish and chip wrapper. That old, it's exactly the same as social media, exactly the same. The amount of times you hear about a scandal one day, and the next day you wake up and it's completely forgotten about on social media. Not anything fucking huge, obviously. But coaches think that they post this reel, they put it out there. Oh, only this many people saw it, or no one reached out. And I'm like, you do realize that's 5 seconds of someone's day where they've got stress going on, their own life going on, potentially their own content going on, their own work issues, their family life, their problems, their, you know, I suppose to a certain degree, like you're just not high on the priority list, right? And I can't say any simpler than that. Like, again, it's arrogant to think that people are sat there going, oh my God, I better make a note of this. Tom wrote down that he thinks that the strength curve is a load of shit. Oh my God, I'm going to write that down. I need to make a note of that and make sure that, hang on, I'm going to spend 5 minutes just rereading that. And I just want to check he's not put any spelling mistakes in there and just double check that everything makes sense. But like, they're not. No one is sat there doing that. And this is the thing, coaches, they just sit there and they obsess over these videos. Should I post it? Shouldn't I post it? With all due respect, no one cares. No one cares. Your content is making an imprint in someone's brain over time. This is why I say to coaches, I say you've got to post consistently over a long period of time what you believe, your opinions of the world, and all this sort of stuff, because you're making an imprint on someone's mind. That 5 seconds each day adds up. Just in the same way you sell to people, oh, kind of deficit each day adds up. It doesn't, you don't see any changes in day to day, but you see it over the months. Yeah, exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same. Over time, people go, oh yeah, I quite like that guy actually. And it's the same. We talked about with call to actions on the members call. When people just put on the bottom of their caption, DM me for coaching spaces. Uh, well, no one's remembering that. It's not memorable in any way, shape, or form. No one's going to take action on that because it's nondescript, doesn't mean anything, doesn't
Yeah.
suggest anything. Yet they think, oh, no one reached out. No one's reaching out. Yeah, no one's reaching out because no one cares about that enough, that one line. You need to be stronger. You need to make them more serious. You need to make them funnier, more emotion in them, plan them out, write them out. And it's always the coaches that moan about their content not going well that sit there at 6 p.m. and go, oh, I should probably post something tonight. They write on their phone in front of the TV in 30 minutes, post, oh, no one reached out off the back of that CTA. They're not going to, because you put about as much effort into it as they did reading it. None, because it's not worth it. The coaches that plan 3 hours a day for content, filming, scripting, editing, whatever it is, right? That may sound excessive. They're the ones that are getting clients reach out, that are growing on Instagram, that have got quality content, that do watch their own stuff back. It just comes down to priorities. And I've gone on a bit of a rant there, I realise, but
Touch a
it needs to be
nerve.
said. It needs to be said because it's always the coaches that do that. It's always the coaches that bring up a random picture from their day and then write a caption there and then in the moment, 10 minutes, and then they go, no one's reaching out to my content. What am I doing wrong? Well, if you don't know the answer to that question, then you are fucked because it's obvious. Because you look at people like Stephen Bartlett. I don't think how many editors, social media people he's got. Do you think he sat there at home going, "Oh, do you know what? I'll just post that reel. I'll see what happens." No, they've got people looking through those podcasts
They
going, "Is this a
said
viral clip? Is this going to
like
go
they
somewhere?"
literally said they have 50 thumbnails for each thing ready to go. 50 thumbnails. And then they
And they'll be
decide.
testing them.
And
They'll be
they'll be
doing A/B
tested. But
tests on
yeah, and
colors, on everything.
he'll get the final say on most of them, and they'll present like three to him. He'll be like, all right, that one.
Yeah,
That's it. Like, yeah.
and and obviously that's a million miles away for coaches. But why not do something similar for yourself? Why are you not writing out 3 thumbnails and picking which one? Why are you not doing subject lines like that? Like I do on every email. I write 6, 7 subject lines,
Yeah.
and I go back to it the next day. Which one do I like today? Which one I think is good? I know it's only going to be 5 minutes of someone's day they're going to read it if I'm lucky. That doesn't mean I put 5 minutes effort into it. It just comes back to this whole like this arrogance that people actually give a shit about you. They don't. You've got to make them give a shit. You've got to make your content better so they actually want to do these things. Um, actually want to read your content. Actually want to digest the caption and read it properly because everyone is fighting for this attention and people are forgetting that actually we don't get a lot of it. So there you go. That's what I got to say on the subject.
I'd like to point out, like, so on the scale of like, I'm making content, Dan, I'm smashing it, whatever. There was something that there's a lad called, I don't know whether you follow him, Dan. It's called Sam Cornforth, who I think his content is good. It is quite funny.
I don't follow him.
Um, it is very well produced. It is very well done. He is, yeah, he's a video creator, Welsh man child, fueled by porridge,
I
sponsored
do.
by
I have seen him. I have seen
sponsored by
him.
mum. I take making stupid content probably too seriously, and he does. But he's like attached to Lululemon now. He does a load of stuff for Runner and stuff like that. But he's made content his life, right? But there was one
Yeah.
thing he was just like, yeah, I've done a million video. I watched an interview with him. He was like, I've done so many fucking videos now, but now at my level, he was like, I don't post that often. He was like, I post fucking quality. I spend 2, 3
Mhm.
days over one reel, and that is what I do. And he was like, that might be big though, but I spend that long. And he was like, I make it fucking slick. And he was like, because that reel will last 2, 3 days because it's that good, because I put that much quality into it. I saw an interview. He was just like, so if you're going to do that and you want your reel to stick around for a while, so like Eddie Abu's stuff, it's shit, but you might put some content into it, stuff like. But there are
Yeah.
reels that just kind of you're like, oh, you click on it in the explore page, and it's like from 2, 3 weeks ago, and you're like, oh shit, how's that stayed around? But it's been shared and it's like been liked enough, and it's been like whatever because it's probably produced very well and it's good content in whatever good content should be. Like so, Sam's it probably sits more on your and it's good resolution. The
Yeah.
like transitions are fucking incredible always. It's funny. It's like stuff. It's really casual, but its value is it's fucking hilarious, and like he's having fun, so you have fun watching it. But just like we talked about Eddie Boo, like his content is quality because it's decisive. It makes divide people. It makes people speak up. It makes people probably interact with it more and post their own opinion because it outrages people. That's why it's got value.
Yeah.
And if your content doesn't do that, then yeah, like my content currently right now is all client based. I won't get that much in terms of interaction with it. I 100% know that they always flop. They don't never, but weirdly, some of them have done all right. But I think that's the way we're presenting, and it's a little bit showing like training montage and stuff like that. But I'm not trying to divide. I'm trying to like not sell, but show stories and stuff like that. So with people, so but the other stuff is just about like interaction, like the fucking sharing on like memes is fine. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I get as well, I understand that me saying or us saying find your own way of doing it is a bit shit advice. I get that. I get that I get that it's a bit like saying eat less, move more. And I say this to coaches all the
Yeah.
time. I said, I get that. I said, but I cannot tell you what to post. It's the most ridiculous concept in the world. I wouldn't listen to anyone else telling me what to post on Instagram. So I wouldn't expect anyone else to listen to me. And I've started doing this a lot more now because I believe this is what coaching is, right? Whenever a client asks me a question, I always say, what do you think you should do?
Mm.
Because I'm there to advise and guide and use my experience to a degree, but also it's like I want you to be in a position where you trust yourself enough to know, well, this is what I want to do. Because otherwise you just become a puppet. You just become someone else, someone else's idea of what is good or bad. Again, and that's not you, and that's not doing what you think is right. And it's tough because you always want to do the right thing. And I had this on a call today with someone. She said, "Oh, I didn't do what you asked me to do because I didn't know I was doing it right." And I said, "Well, what is the right way of doing it?" She's like, "Well, you tell me." And I said, "Well, I don't know what the right way of doing it is." I said, "What if I could be wrong?" I was like, "Why would you wait to listen to what I've got to say?" And we had a really good discussion around like, well, what is right? Because you could argue that, well, the government have posted the nutritional guidelines for years. They must be right. Well, no, they're not right. We know they're not right. They're completely wrong. But yet, depending on your viewpoint, they would be right or wrong. I think they're wrong. Other general public might think they're right. Some people might believe that these politicians are right. I believe that they're wrong. Well, it's not about right or wrong. It's about what you believe. And I was like, you need to scrap the word right out of the dictionary here. What do you believe? Because that's really what it comes down to. It comes to training. Is like Tom's training philosophy isn't right. It's a way of doing it.
What the fuck?
Mate, I want to do calf raises and I want to do trap shrugs, right?
I
And
do
body
shit
draw.
tons of
Maybe
calf
like
raises. That's absolutely
um
fine. They're the one
yeah,
thing that
proper
stays
ones.
in from bodybuilding, my friend.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But you know what I mean? Like it's not right. It's just Tom's way. Eddie Boo's not right. He just believes he's right. It's a
He,
belief.
he
It's
eats
an
so many
opinion.
eggs.
Mate,
So
that
many
guy, oh
eggs.
my God.
His farts must be insane.
He's killed so many chicken,
Fetuses.
unfertilized chicken eggs. Yeah, fetuses. Yeah, I don't know. It just like change the narrative of like stop trying to be right and just believe that you're right. That's the thing. Is what I'm saying right or wrong? Some people will tell you it's wrong. I believe it's right.
I, most of the time, it's me.
Yeah, you just shouting abuse at me.
Like, damn, what are you doing? Why is your club
Yeah.
face so open? You're not meant to hit it. Why are you hitting it that way? Fucking hell.
Yeah. Oh, Dad.
Jesus.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
You're not meant to go in the sand. So what do I do on this hole, Dan? Hit it in the water? That's where you went. Oh.
Brilliant.
We're having fun, Tom. I just think of the Family Guy thing. Yeah, that turned into a passionate rant by Daniel. He's so passionate about content. It's insane. But yeah, hopefully it guides some people. Obviously, most of our audience is probably definitely is online coaches or coaches in general. So, and people get lost. I know 100% they do. Yeah. And I think there's a big one. I think if anybody, just look at your own content and go, do you like it? Yeah, cool. Right. If you do, then you're probably somewhere the way there. If you like your own content, if you don't think you think it looks good, then cool. Or you may be completely deluded. I don't know. Because yeah.
But
It's
also but well,
that's fine.
also there's bliss in that though, that
Yeah,
naivety of like, it's like Eddie Abu. It's a prime example.
yeah, exactly.
Absolute
Because
clown.
it's just
But
like
he's immune to it. He doesn't see that he's a
But
clown.
we talk like we've talked about it. Like me and Dan are a little bit brand snobby, right? Just like we like
Yeah.
brands, and it's exactly the same as your fucking content. Some stuff
Yeah.
that I won't like, the branding. I've written here faceless brands. I fucking hate faceless brands. I
Yeah.
hate it when I see an emblem and it's just got their logo on it. Fuck that. I'm not following that. Don't care.
Yeah.
Unless it's a brand that I really like and I like Apple. I like the brand Apple. I like TaylorMade. I like Titleist. I don't know, some other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's other stuff. I'm not touching with fucking barge pole. Adams Golf. I don't fucking touch that. I'm not going to touch that at all. I don't like the snobbery of PXG. I'm not going to go have that. I think it's too American. All this kind of stuff. So within golf, it's like brands in fitness. I'm never going to fucking wear Gymshark. Don't like the brand. It's
Yeah.
fine. Never going to wear it. I like Lululemon. All good. Because I'm actually just a yoga mum. So deep down, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same as on your content. Like, you like it? Do you like the branding of it? Do you like how it's presented? All that kind of shit. Like, yeah, I think that's the case. And I'll look back through mine. I'm like, fuck me, I can't believe I posted that. Definitely happens all the time. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh shit, delete, 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 delete. Doesn't resonate with me anymore. It's fine. It's mainly pictures of Dan.
Yeah. You know it.
I feel like I've just got to do that more now. I think just to get weird pictures of you and just put faces on them. So, yeah,
Hey, you can try it all you want. See if you get anything out of it.
I don't think I will. I might get some lols interaction from your clients. That's about it. So,
Yeah, that you get a lot of that
yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring this episode to a lovely close. Any other business?
Not for me. No, no. Playing golf again tomorrow. Let's hope for another low score. Everyone, please pray for me. To whoever you pray to, please pray because I need it. My
Eddie
ego needs
Abu.
it.
We
If you want to
haven't
pray to Eddie Boo, pray to Eddie Boo. Let's go.
we haven't caught up with Coach Carnival Cam this week, but we will next week. I'm sure we got it. So,
I don't think he's posted anything too outrageous
you know.
because I would have brought it up because obviously I'm on Coach Cam watch as always.
We both followed him now, so
Oh, I
yeah.
follow him now. That's it. I follow him now because that's the kind of guy I am. Oh, that's right. He made it was one about drinking tap water.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
he did, didn't he?
I
Yeah.
don't have a huge issue with that to be honest, because yeah, I mean, you should definitely filter your tap water. That's my opinion anyway. So I'm okay with that one. He did make the bacon cheeseburger bowl.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, the bacon cheeseburger bowl, as you can imagine, was just mince with bacon and cheese on top because there's nothing else you're allowed on the carnivore diet. So yeah, that was a tough recipe to follow. That one, the mince in the pan with the
Yeah.
bacon and then mixed in with the cheese. That was tough. I'm not gonna lie. Like I struggled with that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what we've
That's
had
gonna be
with.
really that bowl is gonna be reasonably textureless, isn't it?
Is it just me, right? I don't know how. Whenever I think about this diet, I feel like my mouth would feel weird. Does
Yeah, it's
anyone else
like
have that feeling? Like, I don't
yeah.
know. Like, I just feel like it would get sore. I don't know what it is. I feel like it would get a bit like, I don't
But like there's
know.
going to be
Like,
it has to have a lining to it, right? There's going to be some sort of fat grease lining that's constantly
yeah,
obvious
I
from his
just feel
mouth.
like it would
And I'm
just
like,
be,
I feel like I'd be brushing my teeth a lot.
yeah, I don't know why I feel like I have this thing about my mouth's gonna feel weird on this diet. I don't know why. Don't know why I think that, but I do. But his followers have grown, and it's good to see some of my clients following him now. So I'm glad that they're getting some solid advice. And look, we talked about what we talked about before about believing in what you're saying. Like as much as we joke, the guy is a prime example of just making what you want to make and sticking to your fucking guns, like genuinely. So yeah, be more like Cam in that way.
Fucking loves meat.
Okay.
All right. On that note, thanks for
Loves
listening,
meat.
guys. We'll catch you next week.
See you later.